Occidental, ilabi na sa sagwa sang pungsod. Ang ini nga programa magadala sa mga balita, impormasyon, kag magasipad-sipad sa mga issues nga mangin patas. Ang presentasyon sa tanan, kag mabatian sa Facebook page, kag YouTube channel sang Iloilo Newsline. Ang Iloilo Night Watch, mangin mata, kag dulunggan sa mga listeners kag mga viewers, kag ini mabatian, halin las 8:30 sang gabi, tubtob las 10 sang gabi. Oras sa Pilipinas, 47 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 8. Mayong gabi, banwa, mayong gabi sa atong mga listeners kag mga viewers. Kumusta na kamo tanan? Nagapamati na kamo sa atong pagwaragwag diri sa Iloilo Night Watch. Mabatihan kita sa Iloilo Newsline kag sa duwa pa ka platform sa Gimaras Newsline kag Iloilo News Online. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, siyudad kag probinsya sang Iloilo. Antique, Aklan, Capiz, Negros, Occidental, Bacolod, kag Guimaras. Mayad-ayad nga gabi sa inyo nga tanan. Paliog standby. Kay unaw nato na na-check ang atong local pag-asa. Ibalon ta sitwasyon sang panahon. Paagi sa aton nga weather specialist. Iloilo Newsline Weather Update. Upod naton sa linya si Engineer Forbes Rubin. Engineer, mayong gabi. Si Newsline Johnny Diaz. Mayong gabi, sir.
Yes, sir. Mayong gabi. Kag sa aton mga tagpalamati. Amo ni aton latest weather update para sa Subong na Lunes, October 23, 2023. Sa aton latest analysis, wala man kita may ginamonitor nga low pressure area bagyo sa sulod diwat ng aton Philippine Area of Responsibility. Northeast monsoon ang hangin amihan among nag-apekto sa northern Luzon. Samtang shoreline naman among nag-5:39 ang kaagahon. Among natin latest weather update halin diri sa Iloilo Doppler Radar Station pag-asa Visayas DST. Ako si Fred Rubin, madam og sila.
Engineer Forbes Rubin, buwas mainit sa gihapon sa syudad kag probinsya sang Iloilo.
Yes sir, expectaron nato na posible generally for weather kita. Although paglabot sang hapon, aragya po ng posibilidad sang galog-galog nga dala sa mga localized thunderstorms sa ibang lugar.
I see. So, ang importante nga wala kita sang weather disturbance nga nasiplatan sa sagwa sang par.
Yes sir, gagawin na lang to naton sunod nga duha tubtob tatlo.
Oh. Hello sir. Ano to? Gulpi lang to?
Ay sir, hello.
Okay. So sa palabuton sining All Saints Day kag All Souls Day mahimo nga mayo ang aton tiyempo.
Well, sa karon medyo malayo pa to siya so hindi ta na mahambal kung generally for weather kita kay malawig-lawig pa ng mga panimpo na to no, mga more than 7 days pa. Pero apat tayo nag-continuous monitoring natin.
Okay. Engineer Forbes Robin sir, madamo nga salamat kag mayong gabi.
Thank you sir, may kag-iliwat sa tanan.
Iloilo Newsline Weather Update. Nabatihan si Engineer Forbes Rubin sa local pag-asa kag ini ginadulong sa inyo sa Pinang sa Flower Shop. Pinang sa Flower Shop na hamtang sa Isnat City proper ginapanagyan ni Mr. and Mrs. Cyril Tacosalmi. Kag mayara sila nga mobile numbers. No, dali na fiesta minatay pwede ka mo to order bulak. Areo ang ila numbers 0920-825 6483 0920-825-6483 kag 0916-786-8896 0916-786-8896 Pinang's Flower Shop. Sa aton sining mga headline ang sin-off ceremony na kaina ang mga nagkalain-lain nga ahinsya sang gobyerno, partikularmente ang Philippine National Police. Nagagin-deploy na sila sa ila sining mga area of assignment in preparation sa nagahilapit ng barangay kag sangguniang kabataan eleksyon. 5 tulog na lang tapos na ang kampanya. Kumusta ang pagbaton sa mga pumuluyo sa mga barangay officials nga hiwaos nga pagabutuhon sila sa Oktubre 30 nga mo ini ang barangay kag SK election. Mayara na bala sila nga konkreta nga mga plataporma di gobyerno nga ginpresentar sa mga pumuluyo? Anong ilang nga plataporma? Formal nga forma? Bisan na resolution or the barangay ordinance, may ginhimo bala sila sa ilang pagpangalagad nga subong mapare-elect naman? May ara bala sa mga baguhanon anong ilang plataporma nga ginapakita o kung ladlad sa mga pumuluyo? May ara bala sila nga plataporma anong himuon nila kung sila ang magdaog sa barangay? Mapungko, pamati, pauli, o kung maminsar anay kung anong himuon? Mahapos magpadalagan kung hinali nga magdaog, anong himuon nyo sa barangay? Amo na iyang pamangkot sa mga pumuluyo. Maano ka mo? Musi-musi lang kalimutaw nyo? Kamo nga mga barangay officials, kag SK? Maano ka mo to? Mapungko-pungko lang, mahilay-hilay sa bangko? Nga bisan mga putos ang ibo sa local government code, naabasa nyo na nabala, ang naintindihan nyo na ang inyo obligasyon kung kamo ang magadaog? Ano ang Republic Act 7160? Ano ang nabutang nga obligasyon nyo sa local government code? Nga dapat nyo obrahon kung kamo ang magadaog? So dira pa lang, dapat nabasahan nyo na ang inyong obligasyon. Kay base may magtisting nga pumuluyo sa inyo? Base may magtisting nga mamangkot sa inyo kung ano ang inyo obrahon kung kamo ang magadaog. Ano ang nabutang sa local government code? Nga na ang inyo obligasyon kay na-specify na da? Ano nga seksyon? Ano nga article? Nabasa nyo na balay na? minutos na nakaligad sa alas 8 sa dugang nga balita. President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos ginasyur ang mga Pinoy nga ara sa Middle East nga magabulig ang Marcos administration. Sa dugang pagid nga balita, Coast Guard sang China ginatempya nga bungguan ni ang vessel sa Philippine Coast Guard. President BBM nagmando sa mga miyembro sa Philippine Coast Guard nga imbestigahan nga natabo ang nasambit nga collision sang nagligad nga Domingo dito sa West Philippine Sea. Samtang ang China daw sila pang maisog daw sila pa maisog nga ang kuno nila nga ang nasambit nga teritoryo ila kuno. Angay nagoro isangal da sa Senado ang ila na nga ambasador kag ang assistant na nila para pamangkuton kung diin gidkutob ang ila nga teritoryo. Daw sila payamamando sa Pilipinas sa aton nga mga lideres nga kwaon to ang Sierra Madre nga barko nga didto nakaplastar sa Ayungin Shoal. Kung kwaon na ang barko, kundi daog sila, masiling sila ay tigid naghalin man kamo, kundi kami mabulos, kundi mga tunto. Niya nung kay ara pa da Japon ang ginpangako nyo nga kakason, why nyo ging kakas mo? Daw sila pa mersa, daw sila pang mga maisog, ang ining China Coast Guard. Grabe sila, no? Nakasulod din na sa teritoryo sa Pilipinas. So may mando si President BBM nga imbestigahan ang ini nga natabo. Kag kung manami ipatawag ning ambasador nga ang motong response nga daw basulon niya pa ang mga Coast Guard nga nagadala sa mga supply dito sa Ayungin sa Sierra Madre. Daw basulon niya pa anong sagad ka mo labay-labay daway ka mo naglululisin siya kundi ginago. 57 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 8 sa dugang pagid nga balita. Si former President Rodrigo Duterte may ara nga pananawan sa Hamas Group. Ano ining Hamas Group? No? Amo ini ang militante nga grupo nga nagabato man sa administration sang Palestine. Amo ini sila tumiwalagla sa aton diri in pay. Ini Hamas Group. Ting Hamas Group may mga kaalyado man ini nga mga militante. Tituyo sang iban nga militante gapanawagan sila nga abrihan ng border. Hindi magabri ang Prime Minister sang Israel. Si Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Kaya kung abrihan niyang borders, may posibilidad nga malagyong ining Hamas Group nga ara sila sa Gaza Strip. Kag tapos masulod ng iban nga ayuda nga kwaon man sa gihapon nila para nga hindi sila mawadan sa pagkaon kag tubig sa ila nga tunnel. Dito sila sa tunnel nga panago mo. Mga 60 metro sa ng kadalumon sang tunnel nila to. Di may mga pagkaon to sila pero dali na mobos. So amo ni ang taktika sang mga Israeli Defense Forces nga hindi sila pagpasudlan sa pagkaon kay aberman kung ano magkalainabo sila, waay sila supply pagkaon, wala sila tubig. Waay man sila sang power supply. No? Amo na hambal sang katigulangan. Bisan pa ni si Paria Honorator na dalne, retired police, akumpurmi ni, mapanaguan mong bala, perong gutom, hindi kagid kapanago. Mahapyot gintiyan mo. Kung ninali nga gutomon ka mo, laban-laban, hapa-hapa gin mo. Yung Hezbollah man niya sang Lebanon, nagbato man, nag-reinforcement to sa Hamas Group. Di kundi, kadto man sila sa ila border to. Winaswasan man nila to mga Israeli Defense Forces to. Nagbato, kundi damo nagkalamatay sila. Nakapreparar ng Israeli Forces mo. No? Israeli Defense Forces, ang IDF, nakapreparar na sa mga borders. Ara na sila nakaplastar astang tangki digira. In preparation sa ground attack. Kaya ginaplastar, ginabombardiyo sumunganay sa mga missile. Tiyang mga civilian nga affiliated supporter sang Hamas, why pa naghalalin? Ara pa sila sa gyapon. Amo ini nga nadugangan ng mga casualties dito sa Gaza Strip. So may ara nga pananawan si former President Rodrigo Duterte kung anong klase ning Hamas ni. No? Nga gapamatay sa mga sibilyan, mga bata, tigulang. Kita nyo tong grabe pinamatay nila. Gimpang pugutan ulo pang iban to. Ang iban nga mga kababaihan nagwa no sa report dito sa mga katapos sa media sa Israel nga gimpang himuslan pa kundi mga tuntoged. Ambot mayari pa ni sila nga konsensya nga mga sibilyan na mo yang ginpamatay nila. Daway na sila iya sang Diyos nga ginadampigan o kung ginapatihan. Ang ila lang nga kinamatarong, ang ila lang nga diretso, amo yang ginasunod nila. Dahil sa Hamas group ni, ang iban nga mga nasyon, katulad sa Iran, na, kuan man sila, preparar, no? Tuyo nga magbulig, tiga pandam ang US, ya, relax, hindi ka mo basta-basta nga magapuntarya, no? Hayambal sang US niya, ari kami, hindi namon pagpabayaan ng Israel, ti daw nagamatamat astang Lebanon, so, gwardya, ginabantayan man sa mayo, sang US, kay allied forces nila ni ang Israel. So, bato ang Israel. Bakbakan. Sige, sa gyapon ng ilang nga gera to. Kay mabalos kita ang Israel sa ginhimo sa Hamas group nga pagpamatay sa mga sibilyan. Pilanak bilong nagkalamatay nga mga OFW sa naton, 4 na ang gin-report. May na missing pa. Ang iban nga mga foreign nationals to, ginpang dala pa nun nila, ginpang hostage. May duha nga mga buyan sang Hamas group nga mga foreign national, US to. Di ba? Imbuyan nila. Pero may ara pa nga mga hostages sila nga ginauyatan. Kay bilang panaming, kay abi nila mauntat sa pagbomba ang Israeli Defense Forces. So check naton ini karon ang dugang nga mga impormasyon. Standby sa atong mga listeners kag mga viewers, sa atong mga listeners, base magkadto kamo sa syudad, tanawan nyo lang ang wheels sang city government ara sa atong mga platforms para mahapos nga magkadto kamo sa tourist destination ninyo o tourist spots, tanawan nyo lang, hindi na mo mangita pa sang tourist guide, no? Tanawan nyo lang ang wheels ng city government. More power, Iloilo, bringing more to life.
When we first arrived, we said we'd be more. And we were. We said we'd give you more. And we did. We even source 100% of our electricity from renewable energy, all while having the lowest rates in the country. But wait, no, that's not enough. This year, we're going to do more. But what does do more mean? It means more upgrades. More trees, more mangroves, more fingerlings, more crops, and more fruits. More of her, more of him, more of you, more of us, more of her, him, you, and us, making this world a better place for them. More power is going to do more, because with more power comes great sustainability.
Iloilo City's transformative platform, known as Wheels by Mayor Jerry P. Treñas, made a huge difference. Wheels stands for welfare, health, education, environment, livelihood, and sustainability. This highlights the remarkable projects and efforts that have been driving the city towards a more sustainable and empowered future. With Wheels, we had a long journey through the years. And now, we reached our destination of empowering Ilonggos for a sustainable future. This is Wheels, the arrival. Welfare is at the heart of the Wheels initiative. The eye care centers provide essential services to the community, with 5 operational centers and 6 more under construction. While the redevelopment of markets like Arevalo, Haro, and La Paz aims to enhance the city's urban landscape and convenient customer and merchant experience, with budgets allocated to support each project. Furthering its commitment to the welfare of its citizens, Iloilo City plans to construct a state-of-the-art legislative building. Additionally, the City Hall employees will have access to affordable housing with low-rise condominium units, while the urban poor will benefit from a condominium building under the Pambansang Pabahay para sa Pilipino program. The COA Bodega, a modern storage facility, will streamline operations, while new facilities for BJMP and PNP ensures better facilities for law enforcement. Balay Dalayunan, a cultural landmark, will provide a space for artistic expression and community gatherings. Payment centers like Marymart and the Atrium, SM City, and Mega World will bring greater convenience to the people. Also, the Iloilo City Dog Pound and Animal Shelter at Kalahunan Sanitary Landfill in Mandurriao District is serving as home for stray or rescue dogs. The health component of Wheels has made significant strides. The San Isidro Dialysis Center offers life-saving treatments to 84 patients weekly. The newly expanded Iloilo City Hospital has a capacity of 100 beds and provides accessible healthcare to its residents. Immunization services play a vital role in maintaining public health, with substantial progress made in administering the measles, rubella, and bivalent oral polio vaccines. COVID-19 vaccinations have been widely distributed across age groups, contributing to the city's fight against the pandemic. We also established a swab center. Iloilo City recognizes the importance of inclusive education in shaping a better future. With substantial investments in schools, modules, and laptops, the Boost for Education program empowers teachers and students alike. New courses at ICCC and TIIC expand educational opportunities, while scholarship supports the dreams of deserving students. The construction of district libraries and the introduction of various training programs contribute to a knowledge-rich environment. Through skill development and literacy initiatives, Iloilo City ensures a brighter future for its residents. The redevelopment of plazas, koi pond beautification pots, and fish dispersal programs enhance the city's biodiversity and environment. The Tree Park Network, Beach Forest, Mangrove Eco Park, and Native Tree Growing Project exemplify the city's commitment to environmental conservation. Various gardening projects and cleanup initiatives promote eco-consciousness among citizens. The livelihood component of Wheels supports economic growth and self-sufficiency. The Business One-Stop Shop promotes ease of doing business, while the Uswag Negosyo Academy, or UNA, empowers aspiring entrepreneurs with knowledge and support. The UNA program, Terminal Market Rehabilitation, and Vocational Training Initiatives provide opportunities for entrepreneurship and skill development. We also made a big leap as we rehabilitate the Iloilo Terminal and Central Markets. Lastly, the sustainability aspects of Wheels drives progress and efficiency. All of the aforementioned programs and projects shall be sustained beyond Mayor Jerry Peña's leadership. The legacy shall live for our children's future. Wheels has united Iloilo City towards a future that is not only sustainable, but also full of promise. Through the collective efforts of government, businesses, and citizens, Iloilo City is paving the way for progress, welfare, and harmony. Thank you for joining us as we embark on this arrival of empowerment and sustainability. Together, we have built a better tomorrow for Iloilo City and beyond.
Gusto mo bala sa manamit nga donut nga dalon sa imo pamilya? Hindi ka na magbakal sa iban pa. Bungod bukas na para sa tanan ang Mars Pastries nga napahamtang sa sulod sang Ceres Terminal sa Barangay Kamaligaro, syudad sang Iloilo. Ano pang ginahulat nyo? Dali na! Mabakal na kita sa donut sa Mars Pastries. Pasalubong nga may pagpalangga sa imo pamilya. Mars Pastries. Barato na, manamit pa!
5, 6, 7, go!
Tapos nakasuke, presyong divisoria, tampu-sampu, 20-30
DJ
Hello mga suki! Bukas na ang Sergeant Many Grocery kung sa diin makapamakal kamo kag makapangompra sang kinahanglanon sa sulod sang inyo balay. May baligya man sila para sa mga okasyon. Hindi na kamo kinahanglan magkadto sa banwa kag syudad. Gani ano pang ginahulat nyo? Bakal na!
DJ Robert.
Ano pang ginahulat nyo? Bakal na sa Sergeant Many Grocery.
12 minutos na ang nakaligad sa alas 9. Balik kita sa atong pagpangalaga diri sa Iloilo Night Watch. Ipabati ta sa inyo ang result kay na sang conference sa mga nagkalain-lain nga ahensya sang gobyerno at tulad sini sa National Security Council, Philippine Coast Guard, Philippine Air Force, kag Armed Forces of the Philippines, no? Nga nagsinapol sila upod sa mga secretaries, undersecretary, kag assistant director general sang National Security Council. Upod sa kay President BBM, ginistoryahan ang ginhimo sang Chinese vessel nga ginbunguan niya ni ang may lang kay daw sideswipe lang la, no? Ang barko sang Philippine Coast Guard nga nagdulong sang supply dito sa Ayungin Shoal sa Sierra Madre vessel. Hindi lang siling disgrasya lang no? Hungod kay nga raga padulong ang barko. Tiyamakon mo ginsumalang yaman, giningagaw yaman, sumalang yaman. Kag ginalihiran nga hindi dapat amo ina ang matabo. No? Nga duha ka barko maipingay, amakon mo ginipingan niya pa. Tiyamakon mo na. Sobra na gin nga pagpanggarit-garit ni sang China. Oh. Kay batyag nila nga hindi man makasarang, no? Ang Pilipinas kay gamay nga nasyon mo. Kay sila higante. Pagyan na nila, daw ginabuli lang nila ang Pilipinas. So sa mo sini nga naglinabo ano ang dapat himuon sa aton nga mga public officials, sa aton nga Armed Forces of the Philippines. Yari siya Assistant Director General sang National Security Council, Secretary o kun asik Jonathan Malaya, upod man sa spokesperson sang task force sa West Philippine Sea, kag Colonel Midel Aguilar ang spokesperson sang EFP. No, ara man si Commodore J. Tariala ang spokesperson sang Philippine Coast. Ari sa ila kay ina nga meeting.
And dedication to duty of our Philippine Navy and PCG personnel who by their actions represent the best of the country's uniformed services. They do their duty in the face of overwhelming odds. We consider this Rowan mission as a partial success because one of our supply boats, Unaisa May 1, succeeded in reaching BRP Sierra Madre and unloading supplies. However, Unaisa May 2 sustained damage as a result of the collision and could not complete its mission. Nonetheless, the Philippines will never be deterred by the provocative actions of China. We will continue to repair, maintain, and sustain our troops in BRP Sierra Madre while said ship is on duty in defense of our sovereignty, sovereign rights, and jurisdiction in the West Philippine Sea. We call on China to stop its provocative actions, act responsibly, and in accordance with international law and UNCLOS, respect the 2016 Arbitral Award, and defend the rules-based international order. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, ADG Malaya. Up next, we have Colonel Medel Aguilar of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Sir.
Thank you.
Si Colonel
Good morning,
Midel
everybody.
Aguilar, spokesperson sa
I'm here
EFP.
to narrate to you what happened yesterday that led to the collision. Our resupply vessels, Unaisa May 1 and Unaisa May 2, departed Naval Detachment Oyster Bay at Barangay Bahili, Puerto Princesa at around 3 o'clock in the morning. At around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, these two vessels had monitored through visual the presence of People's Liberation Army Navy vessel BN-631. At around 3:10 in the afternoon, following immediately after the sighting, the shadowing of the PLA Navy started.
with our supply vessels. At around 4 o'clock in the morning yesterday, we have monitored the presence of at least 5 Coast Guard vessels, Chinese Coast Guard vessels, 16 Chinese fishing vessels, also maritime militia, and at least 2 PNP Navy vessels. They were already in a position to obstruct the raw emission of our vessels. At 6 o'clock in the morning yesterday, China Coast Guard 5203 and 1 maritime militia maneuvered en route to the position of UM2 and MRRB 4409. And they were able to separate our supply vessel from the escorting PCT vessel. At around 6:04, China Coast Guard vessel 5203 and a maritime militia shadowed and harassed Unisa May 2 to the point of restricting its movement. And then the collision happened at around 6:08 in the morning. Now let me show you a video of how the collision took place. Please play the video.
Kita nilang video. Nga pagdesisyon sang Chinese Coast Guard sa vessel sa Philippine Coast Guard. Medyo buron.
Pwedeng i-full screen natin.
Pero makita nyo sa platform.
And play it again, please. Ayan, go ahead. Ayaw pag full screen.
Okay, what is being shown here is actually a footage of the movements of the different vessels involved that led to the collision. After this video, I will show it to you also the paths or the ways that were created behind this vessel so that it will illustrate how the dangerous maneuver of the China Coast Guard vessel was conducted that led to the collision.
No, ara ginipinga no. Sa nga puti na barko, Chinese Coast Guard na. Aton gagmay bi barko ta mo.
Next slide, please. Paki-play na lang yan kasi para at least makita nila kung ano yung picture yan. Play, yes. Okay, this will show now the direction of the vessels that were involved in the collision. Please, pakiclick lang at para lumabas yung animation. That is considering the position, the speed of the vessels involved. As you can see, Unaisame 2 did not change its course in proceeding to the objective of providing the resupply to our BRP Sierra-Madre. But far from behind, China Coast Guard maneuvered to its port side, from its starboard side to its port side, while there is a maritime militia standby there that is actually restricting the movement of our resupply vessel. So it forced actually
Palibutan nila ba?
what we can see here is a reckless maneuver on the part of China, knowing very well that a collision might take place because of that. Next slide, please. Then a closer look on what happened from behind of the Unaisame 2. Play. Anyway, I think this video is already...
Ako na ang barko nila 5203. Mapon mo na ako.
Nabidyoan mo po, nabidyoan ko.
So starting at 0700 or 7 o'clock in the morning after the collision incident, two maritime militia vessels were monitored conducting close quarter maneuvers and positioned themselves on port and starboard side, or meaning on the left and the right side of the Unaisame 2, while two Chinese Coast Guard vessels were tailing UM2 to prevent its movement and to obstruct its resupply mission. It is also noteworthy to know that at around 0740, the UM1 was able to enter or to reach the northeast entrance of the Ayungin Shoal and moored at the port side of BRP Sierra Madre at around 0800. So all those supplies that were loaded in that vessel was unloaded to the BRP Sierra Madre. Let me now summarize what happened yesterday in 2 points. Number one, our troops, I'm referring to the crew of Unaisame 1 and Unaisame 2, have a mission to accomplish, and they did it in a manner that is professional and legal. They deserve our salute and the support of the Filipino people. Number two, what the Chinese vessels did is illegal and irresponsible. Illegal in the sense that their presence in our EEC is not authorized based on UNCLOS and on the arbitral award. And that their actions yesterday were in violations of the Convention on International Regulations for Preventing Collision at Sea, or CORD rights. It is irresponsible because they acted recklessly, knowing very well the high probability of collision, which will put the lives of people in danger. Let our people know, and the rest of the world, that this incident will not deter us from doing what is right, what is for the benefit of our people, and what will support and strengthen the rules-based international order. No unlawful force would soften our firm resolve. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Aguilar.
Si
Up next, we
Colonel
have Coast
Medel
Guard
Aguilar
Commodore
sa
Gita Ayala, the Philippine
Armed
Coast
Forces
Guard.
of the
Sir.
Philippines. Si Commodore Tariel.
Good morning, everyone. On the part of the Philippine Coast Guard, I'll be discussing to you the details of the operation that we did yesterday in support of the resupply mission of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Let me reiterate that the resupply operation that we just concluded is purely an Armed Forces of the Philippines mission, and that the role of the Philippine Coast Guard is only to provide security escort. These are the Philippine vessels during the supply operation. For the Philippine Coast Guard vessels, our new commandant, Admiral Ron Hill Gaban, have committed two MRV 44-meter vessels to provide security escort to the two chartered indigenous boats of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. It is BRP Sandangan, MRV 4407, BRP Cabra, or MRV 4409. As you can see, for these two vessels, the intention is that for each indigenous boat, there will be a Philippine Coast Guard vessel that will ensure the safety and security of each chartered vessel. This is the operational area of the supply operation for the Philippine Coast Guard. We came from Point C, that is the Buliluyan port. Our Coast Guard vessels, together with our embedded media friends, departed last 21 October around 11 a.m. To proceed to Point B, which is Sabina Shoal or Escoda Shoal. The staging area is actually our rendezvous point for the charter boats. And then immediately after the arrival of Unaiza May 1 and Unaiza May 2, that will be the time that the two Philippine Coast Guard vessels will also depart from Sabina going to Ayungin Shoal. It is worth noting that as early as 9 p.m., a day before the resupply operation, we have already monitored the presence of China Coast Guard Vessel 4301, wherein it is already shadowing BRP Cabra, even before the Unaiza May boats have arrived. In this particular video, you can see Chinese maritime militia vessel already doing close maneuver toward MRV 4407 and Unaiza May 1. So as early as 5:55 in the morning, we can already monitor a lot of Chinese maritime militia vessels within the vicinity of Sabina Shoal. It will be shown later how this Chinese maritime militia participated in blocking the Philippine Coast Guard vessels. This particular video showed, this is actually the reason why BRP Cabra is separated from UM2. As you can see, this happened around 6:06 in the morning based on our record. At 6:06, the Unaiza May 2, the one that was that collided with the China Coast Guard vessel, has already been separated from BRP Cabra, which happened around 6:08 from our record. So, some of you might be wondering why Unaiza May, the one that was that collided from the China Coast Guard vessel, is independent. No, it's not supported by Philippine Coast Guard vessel. This is actually the reason. It's because BRP Cabra was already corralled by the two Chinese maritime militia vessels, and it is surprising that the Chinese maritime militia is even bigger than the Philippine Coast Guard vessel, also supported by the China Coast Guard vessel. So from the photo that was shown a while ago by Colonel Aguilar, you can see that the Coast Guard is a bit far off, no, from the Unaiza May when it was it collided from the China Coast Guard vessel. It's because this was the particular incident that is happening. We are trapped by the two Chinese maritime militia as they pursue the Unaiza May from proceeding to Ayungin Shoal. And then, based on our record, around 6:08, which is like 2 minutes right after we were trapped by the two Chinese maritime militia and China's Coast Guard vessel. This video was already shown by Colonel Mendez a while ago. So from the previous slide, I've already explained to you why Unaiza May is on its own when she collided with China Coast Guard 5203. Also at the same time, around 6:05, in the case of MRB 4407 and Unaiza May 1, the Chinese Coast Guard 21551 is also doing the same thing. It attempted to separate the MRB 4407 and UM1 from being escorted, as you can see from this video. So with the past 3 videos that I showed you, we can actually conclude that the Chinese Coast Guard's original intention is to separate the Philippine Coast Guard vessel from the escorted indigenous boats. Around 7:50 in the morning, Unaiza May 1 was successful enough to enter the Ayungin Shoal. In short, they have good seamanship skills to outmaneuver those China Coast Guard vessels and Chinese maritime militia that blocked them during this operation. On the other hand, the Unaiza May 2, which was damaged because it collided with the China Coast Guard vessel, although she attempted to still deliver the supplies going to Ayungin Shoal, it's not because of the damage that she incurred. That's why she wasn't able to deliver. But it is because of this 2 Chinese maritime militia vessels and China Coast Guard from behind that despite of her damage, she was still being guided away from LS-57. Although I think one of the main reasons that there is a need for Unaiza May 2 to reach LS-57 is of course for us to assess the damage. But still, the Chinese Coast Guard didn't care whether she was damaged, whether she is unseaworthy. The Chinese maritime militia vessels and the China Coast Guard still pushed the Unaiza May away from Ayungin Shoal, as you can see from this video. So if you're still wondering where is the Philippine Coast Guard BRP Cabra MRB 4409, why it hasn't reached yet the location of UM2, this is the condition of BRP Cabra. In short, the BRP Cabra is surrounded by Chinese maritime militia vessels and 2 China Coast Guard vessels. That's why it wasn't able to reach UM2 to provide assistance and to also evaluate the structural damage that it incurred from the collision. Around 8:12 in the morning, with the full intent of the Chinese government to completely block the Philippine Coast Guard vessel BRP Cabra MRB 4409 from assisting Onaiza May 2, another Chinese maritime militia vessel collided with MRV 4409 from its port quarter. I would also want to recognize the bravery of our media friends that despite of the danger of collision, he still wanted to have a perfect angle of that particular incident. Around 10:40 in the morning, we were able to outmaneuver those Chinese maritime militia, and of course, probably when it was already decided by the armed forces of the Philippines for UM2 not to proceed anymore in continuing its supply mission. The Philippine Coast Guard vessel MRV 4409 was able to reach the location of UM2, and then it was safely moored alongside our Coast Guard vessel. From the video that I showed you, it appears that we are free from harassment of the Chinese Coast Guard vessels. But this is actually the photo. You have UM2 moored alongside with MRV 4409. You also have MRV 4407. And Ayungin Shoal is on the left side. No? So it goes to show that all of the Chinese maritime militia are spread out together with the 4 China Coast Guard vessels to make sure that the Philippine Coast Guard vessels and Onaiza May 2 will be prevented from pursuing its supply operation. Around 11:54 in the morning, Onaiza May 1 has already reached the location of the 2 Philippine Coast Guard vessels together with UM2. That's the time that some of the crew of Onaiza May was decided to be transferred to the Philippine Coast Guard vessels for safety reason. Because as I said, we haven't really evaluated yet the structural damage that Onaiza May 2 incurred because of the collision. So as a matter of safety measure, the crew, some of the crew of Onaiza May, and of course those media friends that were embedded in this particular mission was transferred to the Philippine Coast Guard. Around 1:35 in the afternoon, with the entire contingent, the entire resupply contingent is proceeding back to our stations. We were able to monitor 2 Chinese PLA Navy vessels, PLA Navy 631 and PLA Navy 500. Around 3:15 in the afternoon, the entire supply contingent 4409 and 4407 together with the indigenous boats, we have already reached the location of Sabina Shoal. But what is interesting in this photo is that you can still see China Coast Guard 21551 still escorting us. No? When we departed Ayungin vicinity, the China Coast Guard 21551 also joined us in our way back to Sabina Shoal. The intention of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, and of course with the concurrence of our Commandant of the Philippine Coast Guard, is that instead of the two MRV vessels to go on separate destinations from the indigenous boats, the Philippine Coast Guard vessel MRV 4407 will accompany the two Onaiza maids as a matter of safety precaution as well, to make sure that there will be a Coast Guard vessel that will conduct search and rescue should there be any problem of seaworthiness for Onaiza May. That's why 4407 escorted these two indigenous boats, and 4409 is the only vessel that went directly to Buliluyan Port with our media friends. This is the damage that was sustained by BRP Cabra from its fourth quarter. The same thing, we have yet to evaluate the damage that we incurred because of the collision that we had with Chinese maritime militia vessel. As you can see, it is that thick. It is not as something that we can say that's just a scratch on the paint. No? Malalim po yung tama niya. So we're still going to evaluate how it affected the integrity of the hull of our vessel. For the entire resupply operation, we were able to monitor 5 Chinese Coast Guard vessels who really participated in the shadowing, dangerous maneuver, and blocking of the entire supply contingent. And then we also monitored 8 Chinese maritime militia vessels who also actively participated in blocking the supply contingent. It is also worth noting that for the first time, the Chinese maritime militia now are also doing such dangerous maneuver that even collided with our Philippine Coast Guard vessel. Before, they were just taking orders from the Chinese Coast Guard vessels, supporting the Chinese Coast Guard from blocking the Philippine Coast Guard and separating the Chinese, the indigenous boat. But in this particular operation, the Chinese maritime militia came that close to the Philippine Coast Guard vessel, which is the reason why it collided with the Philippine Coast Guard. And then we also monitored 8 Chinese maritime militia through AIS. And as I mentioned a while ago, there were 2 PLA Army-Navy vessel, 500 and 631. As far as the collision regulation is concerned, in which the People's Republic of China is also a signatory state, we would like to highlight the 3 rules that we believe the Chinese Coast Guard and the Chinese Maritime Militia violated in this particular resupply operation. The first one is the Rule 2, or the responsibility of the vessels. This rule emphasizes that nothing in the collision regulation can absolve any vessel from the duty to avoid a collision. Deliberately blocking a vessel not only increases the risk of collision, but also disregards the fundamental principle of taking action to prevent a potential collision. And also for rule number 7, the risk of collision. This rule states that every vessel is required to use all available means appropriate to the prevailing circumstances and conditions to determine if a risk of collision exists. Rule 7 is considered in conjunction with other relevant rules and factors, such as the rules number 5 for lookout, rule number 6 for safe speed, and rule number 8 for action to avoid collision. And also for the rule number 18, the responsibilities between vessels. This rule requires that a vessel shall keep out of the way of another vessel if the latter vessel has the right of
Nabatian si Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson, Commodore J. Tariel. Kamuto na tabo, damage gede ang vessel sa Philippine Coast Guard. Kaya makon mo corner nila to, kita nyo to nga pagpalibot nila. Di makon mo lang ng Chinese militia kag Chinese Coast Guard ne. Daw sila pa mahari sa West Philippine Sea mo. Daway kita na iyas ang kinamatarong niya. Daw sila na lang tanan-tanan ang nagahari. Daw tuyo pa nila nga diktahan kita. Na may pang bakulo ni Kug Pagi, no? 47 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 9. Ay ning informasyon ginadulong man sa inyo sang Vitron Animal Clinic. Ang Vitron Animal Clinic na hamtang sa Barangay San Miguel Hordan, Guimaras, ginapanagyan ni Doc Ronnie Galia, rehistrado nga veterinarian. Kag sa Baul Ristobar. Ang sa Baul Ristobar na hamtang man sa Barangay San Miguel Hordan, Guimaras, sa likod sang LBC, kag ginapanagyan ni Dr. Gisem Binamin. Mayo dadang lugar. Manamit pang luto nila kag nagaserbisyo manami man, no? Tinatapon kag maabi-abihon. So masyarin nyo da palihog kung gusto nyo mamahaw, naamit sang sabon. More power Iloilo, bringing more to life.
When we first arrived, we said we'd be more. And we were. We said we'd give you more. And we did. We even source 100% of our electricity from renewable energy, all while having the lowest rates in the country. But wait, no, that's not enough. This year, we're going to do more. But what does do more mean? It means more upgrades. More trees, more mangroves, more fingerlings, more crops, and more fruits. More of her, more of him, more of you, more of us, more of her, him, you, and us, making this world a better place for them. More power is going to do more, because with more power comes great sustainability.
My heart beats to the sound of the drums of our Ilonggo warriors. It dances with joy to nature and the open spaces that surround me in Iloilo. My heart is filled with love for the warm people, our culture, and heritage. It breaks into song as it sees the changes that progress brings to our city. The new modern blending with the old, a merger of the present and the past. My heart is full as dreams are fulfilled here. Everything I need and want is here. Iloilo is my happy place. The place I call home. Where love and affection overflow. It's the city of love after all. So when you visit, first we give you our food. And when we give you our food, we give you our love. You become part of us. This is why my heart beams with pride for Iloilo City and its people. There's just no place like home. Even if I go somewhere, I bring Iloilo City with me. My heart is never lost. For my heart beats in Iloilo.
My heart beats in Iloilo City.
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 My heart beats in Iloilo City. My heart beats in Iloilo City.
Gusto mo bala sa manamit nga donut nga dalon sa imo pamilya? Hindi ka na magbakal sa iban pa. Bungod bukas na para sa tanan ang Mars Pastries nga napahaptang sa sulod sang Ceres Terminal sa Barangay Kamaligaro, syudad sang Iloilo. Ano pang ginahulat nyo? Dali na! Mabakal na kita sa donut sa Mars Pastries. Pasalubong nga may pagpalangga sa imo pamilya. Mars Pastries. Barato na, manamit pa!
5, 6, 7, go!
DJ
Hello mga suki! Bukas na ang Sarjan Many Grocery kung sa diin makapamakal kamo kag makapangompra sang kinahanglanon sa sulod sang inyo balay. May baligya man sila para sa mga okasyon. Hindi na kamo kinahanglan magkadto sa banwa kag syudad. Gani ano pang ginahulat nyo? Bakal na!
DJ Obet.
Ano pang ginahulat nyo? Bakal na sa Sarjan Many Grocery.
Uswag spirit, we are continuously gearing up our services for the Ilonggos. Wheels for Inclusive Development and Good Governance is our roadmap in bringing our city to the next level. This sixth agenda platform composes welfare, health, education, environment, livelihood, and sustainability. With our ardent desire of attaining inclusive progress and making more promising practices, we continue to address issues through different projects and initiatives that truly make our wheels on the go.
Minutos na nakaligad sa alas 9. May lang pagpamati kay Mas Juan na Hornada. Kay Juliet Bautista Barido sa Bautista Compound. Mayong gabi sa La Pascua, Cordova, Cabalunga, Guinness, mga ano pa gito? Barido, no? Mayong gabi sa inyong atanan. Ipabati ta sa inyo ang pananawan ni former President Rodrigo Duterte sa Hamas Group. Nga to bala nagatake sa Israel, sa mga Israeli to sang Oktubre 7. Madamo na ngagin pamatay nila to sobra 1,000. No? Bata tigulang, ha? Wala pili mo. Ginaparakan na so nila mo. AK-47 ang gingamit nila, may mga talibong pang mga tunto nila, no? Ang ibang mga babae itong pamatay nila, ginmalisyahan pa to sa mga tunto nila. Yari si former President Rodrigo Duterte.
Hamas, terorista ito. But because it is a terrorist Arab organization, it is protected by all Arabs. But number one talaga na protector niya is Iran because Iran shares a border with
Korte sa Pilipinas.
Israel. Siya nagpapanding nito dito. Itong mga terorista, siya nagfunding, siya naglahat, naggumawa. Tapos, binibira ngayon, they attack yung mga settlements sa malapit sa border. Gaza, tawag nila.
Kibbutz.
Gaza, mga kibbutz, mga community, bye-bye. Gaza used to be sabagay, ganyan ang nangyari, nagalitsi-litsi. Used to be a part of really of Palestine. Yung Palestine is also like the Jews noon na walang country. It's a tribe there, they're called Palestinians, na wala rin silang country, walang state. So dito nila inbos ang galit doon sa terorista. Pinapatay nila ang bata. We saw the pictures, talagang beheaded, mga patay na katawan. Hindi yung sa TV, kasi sa TV, pinadala sa military connections dito. Madali lang yan, sirok-sirok lang. It's gore. It's not good to look at. Do not look at it. You lose your appetite for the whole week. Tapos ito ngayon, supported by Iran. Ngayon, pag naipit ito, kasi lalabas man talaga dito sa itong side ng itong nasa mga terorista, halo-halo na, itong kalahati dito na dito yung mga Jews. Pagka pumasok yung maraming terorista dito at pumasok ang Jews ngayon, which they are now entering Gaza at any time, alam ng Arab nations, masakit sa kanila pakinggan, papatayin talaga lahat yan sa loob sa Gaza. Parang samal.
Talaki.
Nandyan sila sa isang kantong. Pag pinasok na yan yung ang kanto sa mga Hudiyo pati sa ibang tribo. Pero saan sila ngayon nakamas? Diyan sa kunyari Samal, doon sa dulo ng Samal na may bukid. Pag pinasok yan ng Israel ngayon, sabi ng Israel, we will wipe you from the face of the earth. Ako, nakaintindi ako as leader, pag sinabi kong I will wipe you out, I would simply mean kill you all. Bakit ba ako nagsalita ng ganong hindi matutuhanin? Galit sila kasi marami na yung mga bata beheaded. Walang kwentang buhay na to para sa atin. Not only for them but for us. Life has become lousy. But it's not a thing that we have to, Kaya lalaki ito kasi pag malapit na Gaza mapulpog, papasok ang Iran. Pagka pumasok ng Iran, pasok ang Syria, pasok ang ilang countries ba yan? Pagpasok ng mga Arabian countries dyan, pulpugin itong Gaza kasi nandyan na nanalo na ang Israel. Ubusin nila ng Israel na naman. Hindi papayag ang Amerikano. May dalawang warships na doon. Ang Amerikano, gusto lang niya na walag lang magsali. Walag lang magsali sa away muna. Hayaan mo yung Hamas pati Israel. Kasi may nangyari. Ang Amerikano dyan tigapigil. Pero pag pumasok ang Iran, magdala ng mga bomba, pumasok ang eroplano, Syria, kung iba-iba pa ang papasok ang Amerikano. Because the Americans said, we will stand by your side. Ngayon, ang problema nito, Muslim kasi yan ang mga Palestinians. Almost Arabs. Meron mga Katoliko ba? Karamihan dyan, the Arabs are fundamentally Muslims. Gaya ng ating mga kapatid. Mga Kagan, the tribes, Kagan, Maguindanao, Maranao. But they have been converted into Christians well ahead of the coming of, hindi pa dumating yung mga missionaries. Islam was already converted to Mindanao. So may religion yan sila. Ang religion ng fealty nila is to God, Quran. Hindi sa gobyerno. Ang tayo mga Kristiyanos, gobyerno, pati a little bit of, religion. Yung iba naman, ako, hindi man ako masyado buang dyan sa religion. Ako, ang tingin ko lang kung ano lang ang tama. I just say what is the right thing to do. I do not necessarily, iba ang kong communication ko sa God. It's more personal. Or it might be lalabas sa bunganga ko because of the reflections of what God has to say to me. Ngayon, pagka pumasok yan, gira na, ang mga Muslims will be one. Tayo mga Christians, kaya hindi man tayo Diyo, hindi tayo maghanap ng away. Pero kung maggawa sila ng gulo, it will not be because ayaw natin sila o ayaw natin awayin sila o takot tayo sa kanila. It's not that. It's because we are Filipinos. Ang tribo natin. Iba lang yung reliyon nila, iba yung reliyon natin. But we respect Islam as we respect Christianity. I love the Moro people, irrespective of the religion. Hindi naman lahat ng Moro Islam pakaramihan. I love my Filipino Muslim brothers. And I do not want to do anything that would hurt them. Pilipino ako. Pero kung magdating dyan sa panahon, wag sana. Magpagitna ako, sabihin ko, may kunti lang naman akong Moro blood, lola ko, pero maliit lang. Pero if I can make a case of it, make something out of it, sabihin ko, wag. Huwag tayo. Yan ang problema yun. It's religion.
No.
It's the world is at war now. Ang cause ang religion. Muslim and Christianity. And the Jews, iba yan sila. Pero huwag sana tayong damayin. Wala man tayong pakialam dyan sa mga Hudyo. Huwag sana. Ako ang nakikiusap talaga. My brothers and sisters who are Muslims, please do not. Let's talk about it. Kami na mga Kristiyanos pumunta sa inyo. Huwag kayong mag-alala. Pakiusap na wag yung gira. hindi gira natin ito. It's not the... Pero kasi kung...
Si former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Suga pilar siya sa mga Muslim brothers naton. Hindi kita magira. No? Peace kita na. No? Magpalangganay kita. Respetuhon kamo. Respetuhon nyo man kami. Amo lang na ang panugyan ni former President Rodrigo Duterte. Tinchak to na kay kung i-open sang Israel ang border, laban-laban sulod na ning Iran, Lebanon, Syria, sulod na marespondi, no? Sa Hamas group. Ti karon kay Wyman sa gyapon ginopen. Ha? So bulubudlayan sila. So amo nang balantayan kung mag-ground attack na ang Israeli Defense Forces. Batok sa Hamas. Ti gapanugyan ang US. Ops, kalma ka mo. Ari kami diri, duha ka warship sa US ara na nakapreparar na astang jet fighter nila tanan-tanan. Ara na nakaplastar na tanan-tanan. No? Ginambalan. Relax lang. By ilan dan ng mga Israeli Defense Forces kag ang Hamas group. Kaya matudtod, ang Hamas group mo nagpanguna mo sa sining tama tama ka masilig ni nga hitabo, no? Bloodist, nga natabo didto sa Israel. Makon mo yung mga kabataan na pamatay mo, na pangsprayan mo sang AK-47. Ha? Huwag ka mo yung pasinuhon, bata tigulang. Hasta gimpang pugutan pa sang ulo to. Ha? Tiinit ang Israel eh. Ilabi ng Prime Minister nga si Netanyahu. Init sa. Ingay wipe out ni ang Hamas group. Amo nang ginabombardiyo nila sang rocket. Ha? Tapos na bombardiyo rocket, nakaplastar lang ang ilang mga tangke digira, ang ilang Israeli Defense Forces para sa ground attack. Kung hinali nga mahambal sila nga clear na, pwede na sa ground attack. None. Pero may harap pa itong mga civilian. Igurugin pang punggan man sa Hamas group nga hindi ka mo magalalin, basi maubos kami di kalamatay kung wala na ka mo. So amo na ang ginaanam-anam man sa mga miyembro sa Defense Forces ang Israel. Ginanaman naman nila nga wala sang may makulateral. Nga dapat Hamas group lang ang maigutan ng tanan. No? Kay sila ini ang mga militante, sila ini ang Hamas group nga nagsulod sa Israel. Nga kag nagpamatay hasta sa mga civilian kag foreign national. Sa mga listeners naton kag mga viewers, thank you so much sa inyo nga pagupod sa ato nga pagpangalan. Dali lang matakop ang kampanya, kabay pa nga mapaluntad lang kalinong kagatawhay ha. Kabay pa nga mangin mayad lang ang paghiwat naton sa barangay kag SK election. Sa mga katapos sa media, thank you so much sa inyo nga pagupod sa ato nga pagpangalan. Diri lang kita kutob. Ay Mads sa Juan, mustahan naman. Kag sa iban pa nato nga mga naga-text diri sa aton nga number. Thank you so much. Kay Lawrence daw. Sa si Ice. Kag sa mga kapdanan niya nga tanaw man may gabi. Upod na kay Toto Boy Jeff kag Nonoy MJ. Aton technical partners. Kay Mads sa Tatarusa. May gabi manggali Mads. Dira sa CTI kag mga manunudlo. Madamo ging salamat ini ang inyo alaga Johnny Yanson Diaz. Kita nay naman kita bukas. Sa mga listeners naman sa abroad, thank you so much. So hindi ka mo makalipat. Chat lang diri sa Iloilonewsline. So sa liwat, madamo nga salamat kag mayong gabi Pilipinas para sa Iloilo Newsline.